Good morning, Miss. I'm Hui Wen, and I'm going to present about the publisher class and the book class. So I will start with the publisher class specification file. So here's the class declaration, and publisher name and country are the private member variables of the class. So they are accessible only within the class and using its member function. Now I will move to publisher.cpp. So here's the class implementation file, and this file contains all the member function definition. So this is the default constructor. This is the parameterized constructor that initializes publisher name and country with the provided values. This is the destructor, and this is the accessor that returns the value of publisher name. This is the mutator that set the value for publisher name. This is the accessor that returns the value of country. This is the mutator that set the value for the country. So in the main CPP, I will create a publisher object using the default constructor. Then I will set the publisher name and country using the mutator methods. And then here I created another publisher object using the parameterized constructor. Now I will explain about the book class. I will start with the book class specification file. So here is the class declaration, and all attributes in the book class are protected member variable. So they are accessible within this class and its child classes. Here, publisher is a pointer to publisher object, and this shows that book and publisher has aggregation relationship. So publisher can exist independently. If the book object is destroyed, the publisher object will not be destroyed. And here's the book class implementation file. This file contains all the member function definition. So this is the default constructor. This is the parameterized constructor that initializes book title, genre, year published, publisher with the provided values. This is the destructor. This is the accessor that returns the value of book code. This is the accessor that returns the value of book title. This is the accessor that returns genres. This is the accessor that returns the value of year published. This is the accessor that returns publisher. And this is the mutator that set the value for book code. This is the mutator that set the value for book title. This is the mutator that set the value of genres. This is the mutator that set the value of year published. This is the mutator that set the value of publisher. And here, this is the display method, which can display the details of the book. And this method, display method, is declared virtual so that polymorphism can be applied and it can be overridden by the child classes. And since the publisher is a pointer to publisher object, so we use get publisher name and get country to access the publisher name and country. Okay, and then here I create a book object using the default constructor, and then I set the book code, book title, genres, publisher, and year published of the book using the mutator methods. I also created another book object PT2 using the parameterized constructors. Then here I displayed the book list. So I called the display method by using book object B1 to display its details, and also I called the display method using book object B2 to display its details. So let's run the code and see the output. And here's the output. So it displays the book code, book title, genres, year published of the book, and the publisher, including the publisher country. So that's all for my presentation. Thank you.
Hello, Ms. Lizawati. My name is Xin Rou. In this video, I will introduce the book list and the user classes, which highlight encapsulation, aggregation, and composition. So since the book list class and the user class, they involve the book object, so we need to include the book header file and publisher header file. So for both classes, we include all accessors and mutators for all attributes. And also a default constructor and a parameterized constructor are also included. The book list class manages an array of book pointers, showing aggregation since it handles the pointer that points to the book objects. These classes also include methods to add book, and also to check the book, whether the book is already in the book list, and also to display the books. The Apple function checks if the array of pointers is null and assigns pointer values that point to the book objects. The isBook and list function checks if the book is inside the array of pointers by looping and comparing the value of pointers that points to the book object. And the display method is going to display the book's details. For the user class, the user class represents a user with attributes like name, phone number, IC number, and consists of a book list object, demonstrating composition. So a login function is included in the user class, and the validation of phone number is applied by abstraction handling, which is utilizing the try and catch block. So if the user they enter characters in the phone number input, we're going to prompt the user to re-enter the phone number. So the add book to book list function ensures the program doesn't add the same book to the book list more than once and avoids duplication of books in the book list. The display book list function is to display the user's personalized book list. In the main program, I have created an object for the user and also some example objects for book and publisher. After that, the program is going to display the books available to the user. After that, the user is going to input their choice of their preferred books. And lastly, we're going to display the personalized book list of the user and also the user details. And now we're going to move on to the code testing part. So first, the program is going to prompt the user to enter their IC number. And also the username. So for the phone number part, if the user they enter characters, the program will display that the phone number contains invalid characters, and the user is required to re-enter the phone number and only number digits allowed. So after that, the book list available is going to be displayed, and the user can enter their choice. So we have 3 books here. So the user can enter between 1 to 3. So if the user enters the book 1, the program will display that this book is successfully added into the personalized book list. So the user can enter 1 to continue to add more books. So now, if the user they enter the same book the second time, the program will display that the book is already in the personalized book list. If the user don't want to continue to add more books, they can just enter any value other than 1. So, lastly, the user details and their personalized book list will be displayed. And that's all for the user and book list class.
Hello, Ms. Lizawati. My name is Nicholas. And in this video, I will demonstrate our program that models different genre of books using inheritance and polymorphism. We will look at the romance, fantasy, and sci-fi classes which inherit from the base book class. The book class encapsulates basic book attributes such as called, title, genre, year published, and the pointer to the publisher. And we extend this class into three derived classes, which is romance, fantasy, and sci-fi, and each adding genre-specific attributes, showing case inheritance. The romance class inherits from book and adds the main couple name attribute. And here's an example book, Pride and Prejudice, and the main couple is Jane and Darcy. This demonstrates how the romance class inherits common attribute from the book and adds its own unique features. Okay, and the fantasy class inherit from book includes the creature type attributes. For instance, you can see Jet City features ninja creatures. This shows inheritance by reusing the common book properties and extending them with specific features for the fantasy genre. The sci-fi class inherits from book and as the scientific concept attribute. An example here is the three-body problem, which is focused on the concept of atomic. This illustrates how the sci-fi class extends the book class by incorporating science fiction specific elements. And polymorphism is demonstrated through the display method, which is overridden in each derived class to include the additional attributes. This means that the classes performing the same action differently by displaying different contents. This allows us to treat all books uniformly while still calling the specific display method for each book type. And finally, we display the details of each book using the overridden display method. And now I will run the program. And the output adapts to each book genre, showcasing polymorphism in action. That's all. Thank you, Doctor.